Welcome into Seahawks Today. I am your host, Will Ortner, and your Seattle Seahawks are going to absolutely put a whooping on the Arizona Cardinals later on tonight or today, depending on where you are watching from. I think that the Seahawks have the secret sauce. They have the right matchups, they have the coaching advantage, and they are going to find a way to absolutely dominate the Cardinals in Lumen Field and start their back-to-back NFC West games off with a bang. What I want you to make sure that you realize from this video is that you can hang out with us. We are going to be live later on today on the channel. We go live an hour before kickoff. So Central Time, it's going to be at 2 o'clock. Mountain Time, 1. It's going to be noon Pacific, or it's going to be 3 on the East Coast. You love the Seahawks. If you can't be at the game, this is the spot to be. So make sure you come in and hang out with us for our watch party ahead of the Cardinals game. Now, I have a couple of different reasons why I think your Seattle Seahawks are going to destroy the Arizona Cardinals. And I think the most important reason is what this defensive line can do. Right now, when you look at the totality of the group, not individual players, but the totality of the group for your Seattle Seahawks, you have multiple players in multiple spots in that front seven that can get to the quarterback. You have guys on the edge, DeMarcus Lawrence, Uchenna Nwosu, some of the top sack getters, not just for your Seahawks, but in the NFL. If you need to get after Jacoby Brissett from the front, from the middle, right up in the face of Jacoby Brissett, you've got two guys who can do that in Byron Murphy and Leonard Williams. And look, you've got guys who can get into the backfield from a blitzing spot. Last time you played the Cardinals, you had 6 sacks, 6 of them against this offensive line. They are not good enough to stop you. They are not good enough to slow you down. And you have a variety of different players that are able to get through, get in, and make plays. I mean, shoot. You have 1 sack from cornerbacks if you combine Devon Witherspoon and Josh Jobe's sack numbers in week 4. Again, that's against Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray can get out of the pocket. Kyler Murray can move around a little bit easier than what some of, Jacoby Brissett can move around for the Arizona Cardinals. I think that if you get some pressure early on from this defensive line, just rushing 4, doing your typical twist games and your typical stunt games, you are going to speed up Brissett. You're going to scare Brissett. You're going to make him, unfortunately, start seeing ghosts. If he starts doing that, he's either going to lead to more interceptions, more turnover-worthy plays, which I think your defense can go and make plays on, or it's going to lead to more sacks for your defense. I think this defensive line is nasty, and they're going to continue to show everyone in the NFL why they're one of the top, if not the top, defensive lines in the National Football League. I can't wait to see how you use Rashid Shaheed. I might be biased. I might be overblowing it. I might be getting to a point now where, frankly, I'm just too excited about your newest deep threat. But I think that Seattle, I think Clint Kubiak, I think Sam Darnold, I think even head coach Mike Macdonald is making sure that they have multiple deep throws set up for your Seattle Seahawks. And I think that Shaheed is going to be the main focus of that. The Cardinals are going to have to commit more safety over the top help to Shaheed, because if you go and try and guard him one-on-one with a corner, frankly, he's just going to run by them. Mina Kimes had this interesting fact that she tweeted out, and the more I looked into it, the more I realized, Mina Kimes is right on point with this. Right now, the Seattle Seahawks are facing light boxes at a below-average rate. What does that mean? That means that because most teams know the Seahawks want to run the football in the Clint Kubiak system, they're adding an extra guy into the box. That means if there are 5 offensive linemen down, there are 6 to 7 defensive players within a 5-yard radius or so of the line of scrimmage. That gives them 1 extra free rusher or 2 extra free rushers to stop that rushing attack. With Rashid Shaheed's speed, you now can't commit that extra guy into the box. You have to sit him back into more pass coverage making your life easier for the run game. Here is Shaheed's stats throughout the entire year so far this year, and the most important stat that I want you to look at, it isn't the receptions, which he's on a career high rate. It isn't the yards, which he's on rate to have a career high in that as well. It's the long. 87-yard touchdown catch this year. How many people in the National Football League can say that they have that? How many people in the National Football League, once they get behind everyone, can just run through angles? They can run past players. Not many. That's a college phenomenon that happens. I expect Clint Kubiak, I expect Sam Darnold to have multiple big plays. Expected, drawn up, dialed up for Shaheed. I think the most important thing, too, that you can see from your Seattle Seahawks in this game is if Sam Darnold goes to the line of scrimmage, goes to get under center, and he sees that Rashid Shaheed is in single coverage, he's just going to look at him and go, Vert, go deep. If he does that, Shaheed beats the corner, man. Sometimes all you got to do is just listen to Derek Carr and chuck it up. Hope that he gets there. Because right now, man, he looks beautiful in that navy blue. And I think Rashid Shaheed has a big play or two up his sleeve in this one, or at least helps a big play or two happen in that run game as well. I got a few more reasons that we need to talk about why your Seahawks are going to dominate later on today. But before we do that, I got to let you know about my good friends over at Prize Picks. The hard-hitting football action is even better with Prize Picks. The weather might be changing, but the feeling of being right never gets old. So keep the season rolling on Prize Picks by getting $50 instantly in lineups when you play your first $5. Prize Picks is simple to play. Just pick more or less on any 2 to 6 player stat projections. And if your picks are right, you could cash in. Prize Picks invented the flex play, which means you can still cash out if your lineup isn't perfect. You can double your money even if one of your picks doesn't hit. Prize Picks is the best way to win cash this football season. Which players are going off? Which ones are overhyped? Make your picks in less than 60 seconds and turn your takes into cash all season long on Prize Picks. I have a nice little 3-pick power play for today. Tua, less on his passing yards. JSN, more on his receiving yards. Sam Darnold, more on his pass TDs. Download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right. I feel like in the NFL, 75% of the time, the team with the better QB just always seems to find a way to come out on top. And right now, Seattle has the best QB in the NFL, and I really don't think it's that biased of a statement to make. When you look at what Sam Darnold is doing right now, he is finding guys in the end zone at an alarming rate. He isn't making dumb decisions. He gets the ball out quickly. He makes smart decisions with the football, and he's playing a darn near perfect season. I mean, shoot. We saw it against the Washington Commanders. He was perfect through the first half of that game. 16 for 16, and I don't think that's an anomaly. I don't think that this Arizona Cardinals defense is going to be able to do enough to stop him. And Darnold is going to continue his stellar play. He is going to keep finding open receivers. He's going to find Jackson Smith and Jigba. He's going to find Barner. He's going to find Kenneth Walker. He's going to continue to dice up defenses. Because the more and more that you look at this crew, the more and more that you look at teams that are trying to stop Sam Darnold, the more and more you realize you have a franchise QB in Seattle, and you have a QB that is going to continue to win you a lot of football games. If you agree with me about Sam Darnold, man, go in and smash that subscribe button if you haven't already. I am a top propagandist of our good friend Sam Darnold. You're not going to want to miss any videos where I give you the best stats about him. The other reason why I think the Seahawks win this game is I think you finally start to get your run game going. It's been very much roller coastery, up and down as the season has gone for that rushing attack in Seattle. But Kenneth Walker has shown that he is a good running back. Zach Charbonnet has shown that he can get the tough yards when needed. And I think what's most important is this offensive line week after week after week, especially at your left guard spot, continues to get better because they see more and more defenses they expect to go against. When you look at Kenneth Walker's stats, for a guy who is splitting carries, that is a pretty darn good total yardage number. He's going to go well over 500 by the end of this game for the season. I think he's still a 1,000-yard rusher, and that average is continuing to go up. Why is it going up? Because you're finally getting your fullback back. This offense is designed to have your quarterback under center and to have a mean as you-know-what fullback going in and paving the way for the Seahawks. Robbie Oots is going to continue to act like an extra offensive lineman, but taking on linebackers for you. He's a special player who hasn't had a ton of time this season because of different injuries he has faced. He isn't going to face those injuries anymore, fingers crossed, and he's going to continue to get better as he gets more reps. The other thing that's important, and I mentioned it with Rashid Shaheed, you are going to face lighter boxes because teams can't let 22 get loose. Teams would rather have that rushing attack get 4, 5, 6 yards a pop than let him get 70 and a touchdown because they believe you're going to make mistakes. I don't think that the Seahawks are going to make mistakes in this one. These are my 4 reasons why the Seahawks are going to absolutely dominate, man. The defensive line is special. Legion of Zoom is here. And that rushing game, man, it's only going to continue to work their way forward. Those are my key reasons why I think the Seahawks are going to win later on today. What is your biggest key to victory? Make sure you go down in the comments and let me know. I'll be doing my best to respond to as many of you as I can that give me, well, good reasons why the Seahawks could win this game. And, of course, come hang out with me. Come hang out with producer Avery. You don't want to miss us. We are going to be live later on throughout the entire Seattle Seahawks game. Come and join us. You don't want to miss any of the action.